Yo, what's going on, everybody? Yeah, we chilling outside right now. Can you guys all hear me? We got nothing but natural sunlight here. Feels good. I don't want to be cooped up in my house all day. So can you guys all hear me? Hey, what's going on? Yo. Ooh, man, we got some sunlight, huh? What would be better? Oh, all right, we're gonna have to deal with it for now. You guys can hear me? Man, I miss you all. I hope you all doing good. Yeah, look how many beautiful people there are. It should be illegal. It should be illegal. We need to shut the channel down. Somebody report the channel. Get YouTube involved. There's too many good-looking people. I'm pretty sure this goes against the terms of service. It says, I've read the term of service. It said if too many good-looking people, it's just illegal. We got to shut it down. Oh, man. So, yeah, I want to update you all. I know I haven't been coming out with too many videos, and that is because I kind of just didn't feel like it. You know what I mean? I've been enjoying my life, been enjoying Arizona, stepping away from the game a little bit. The new computer is coming in on Wednesday, and you guys are not going to be able to get rid of me. You're not going to be able to get rid of me when my new computer comes out. So with the new computer, I'm looking to become more of a streamer. Coming out with the videos takes too much time right now for me, and it's just really difficult to come out with videos consecutively. However, if I'm streaming and I can get a video guy, he can take my content, cut it up, and do a highlights video the next day. One of the things that I'm also working on is trying to figure out where I'm going to stream. The problem is that I have a partnership with Twitch, and the partnership with Twitch essentially says that they don't want me streaming anywhere else. So I have to figure that situation out, because if I have to, then I'll cancel my agreement with Twitch. I don't care, because I have too many international fans. They don't all have access to Twitch. So it might just be easier to cancel my contract with Twitch and then just stream over there without a contract, and then stream on YouTube as well and stream on Facebook. I got my Instagram up and running. I got like 7,300 people on my Instagram, and that's more about my professional life. Patreon's gonna be coming out soon. I know I've been saying this for way too long, but it will be coming out soon. We're just trying to there's just some legal things that I gotta make sure about with that, especially with taxes and stuff. And then we're gonna start talking about some Identity 5. A lot of people are asking me, am I gonna play Identity 5 on my computer? I might have to, depending on some of the things. Furthermore, I'm gonna be talking to the development team. The development team wants to have a little bit more of a partnership to a degree. They want me to become a test person on the game. They like my feedback in terms of balance, and so when I get my computer, I might be able to actually go on the test server. But I got to make sure that I have a good established communication line with them. So when I am on the test server, I know when I can start releasing content. I don't want to start leaking content. They don't want me to leak, right? So that's just out of respect to the development team. But I think it would be better that way. I think it would be nice to become kind of a more primary source information about these new survivors that are constantly coming out. And if I'm playing with them on the test server, that's when I can tell you, is this character also going to be good on a competitive level? So I think that's going to be important as well. I have some network opportunities where I'm gonna be expanding just beyond Identity 5. And that's going to be on my Instagram and stuff. I'm in the works of making a video and giving it to BuzzFeed and giving it to a bunch of outlets, and just really keep spreading the message that we have, man. What's interesting is that you go on some of the other YouTubers and stuff with like the positivities, and man, they're all fake. They're all fake as hell. What they do is they try to tell people how to live their lives, how to be positive, but yet you can tell that it's like a product that they need to always sell with it. Oh, do you want to be positive in life? Well, I can help you if you buy my book. Or, hey, do you want to live a better and more productive life? Well, if you buy my essential oils and shove them up your ass, then you're going to be happier in life, right? There's always a product that goes with it. However, I do respect the book. I do respect the book thing, because authors have the right to sell their content. But I'm telling you, man, people are tired of it. Right? You could be positive, but you got to be realistic, right? I call it the grumpy meter. If you have a grumpy meter and it's at a level 7, I want you to be positive and get that down to a level 6 and call it a day. You were positive. All right? This whole like, oh, like to be positive, you gotta, you know, not be grumpy is all nonsense, man. It's about managing your life. In terms of Identity 5, we'll get back on Identity 5. I know there's a lot of new characters coming out. I want to thank Comrade Dan. Comrade Dan has been running a whole bunch of information about the character tier list. In fact, I've been really lazy lately, and it's been pretty much only Comrade Dan doing it. So I want to give a big shout out and thank you to Comrade Dan. Because I was like, oh yeah, Dan, I need to run some statistics and some numbers, and you know, we compiled all this data and whatnot, and then I kind of stopped doing everything, and Dan just started doing everything. So Dan's pretty much doing all the data right now. I'm over here sitting outside enjoying this. So we have some realistic data. So I'm gonna talk to you guys. I'm gonna give you a brief overview on how to use Priestess, okay? Because I said I was gonna make a video, and I didn't make a video. So I'm gonna give you guys a sneak peek. Now, I know that there's some people who are like, oh, you should make sure that you run this by some of the Priestess on US and European server, the top players. And the point is that if they're not doing what I'm saying, they're doing it wrong, because the information that I have is actually top players on other servers as well. So it's not just me coming up with a random theory and just being like, oh, this is what we need to do. That's not how I run data. That's not how I come out with an analysis. Sometimes I'm working with top players in different tournaments. So one of the biggest things with Priest is how you're supposed to use her, and it's very specific, okay? Now, we saw this in the Call of Abyss tournament. I think Priestess selection rate, I think, was around 5% out of all matches. Out of 104 matches, sample size was 104 matches. Out of 104 matches, she had about a 5% selection rate in the top quantity play, top competitive play. All right. How Priestess is utilized, everybody knows, or everybody should know, down and right is the only way to build her. Any other build is incorrect. You don't build her any other way because she's a rescue character, because she has a debuff, right? Here's how you play her. It's very specific. And I have footage of this compiled. I'll be releasing the video hopefully later this week. Here's how you use Priestess when you're in an organized team. Let me take a sip. When you start off the game, you do not release your blue portal. You don't choose your blue portal. You don't touch your blue portal. You leave your blue portal alone. And the reason being so is that you don't know how fast one of your teammates are going to go. So if you are in a 4-man team, all right, again, this is how it's played in top competitive and in every top server. I don't know how it's played in Northern America or Europe, but if they don't play it this way, they're playing it wrong, okay? Here's what you need to do as a Priestess. This is under the presumption that all 4 of you are in voice chat, right? If you're not in voice chat, then that's the point of me releasing this footage, so people know how to play with Priestess. Here's how you play with Priestess, all right? When somebody goes down, and when somebody goes down, okay, what you need to do, it depends if you're closer to the person who is down or not, but I'm going to explain this. So I'm going to give you 2 scenarios. I'm going to tell you the correct way of playing Priestess in both scenarios. According to high tier data, I have recorded footage of this, of top tiers doing this in Call of Abyss, and I'll release a video on it to reaffirm, again, this isn't theoretical. This is how you really use her. I know, I've been doing a big lead up, haven't I? It's like, all right, Perswayable, get to the damn suggestion, right? You made your point clear. If somebody goes down, right, and the coordinator goes for the rescue, here's how you do it, all right? So we know that if I'm the Priestess and you're the coordinator, okay? I'm Priestess, you're a coordinator, our teammate goes down. When I do my super portal, you only need to tap it against the wall, right? As a Priestess, I need to hold it. I need to hold my skills so the blue portal arrives. You can't just rapid click it. However, if you're the coordinator, you don't need to hold the portal down. You can just click it against the wall and keep running, right? It's up to the Priestess to maintain the position of making sure the portal goes down. So here's how it works. How you're supposed to work it is that you wait until somebody goes down. You wait until the coordinator is a little bit away from the chair. The coordinator will signal out when you are supposed to use the portal. Use the portal, coordinator hits the portal, keeps running forward. All right? So now you're using your super portal. The coordinator is letting that person know on the rocket chair where that blue portal is. So now, coordinator does a rescue, does her flare gun. Even if that individual is hit again, that individual now goes through the portal and is somewhere, anywhere, randomly on the map. This makes the hunter have to gamble and guess where you are. Now, if you're in Sacred Hospital, it's not always a good idea to use your portal in the house, right? The hospital. The reason being so is most hunters are going to teleport there right away. So it's up to a priestess to get a little creative as to where they need to use it, okay? So this is how you use priestess again. You do not use your portal in the beginning, right? If you use your blue portal, you don't know if somebody is gonna die right away, and if they do, your blue portal is useless. So you have to save your blue portal. Don't use your portals, all right? If you start getting kited, right? So if you're the one that starts to kite, then you can use your regular portal and you can get away. That's okay. However, if you're across the map and no one is near you and somebody goes down, it is up for the rescuer to ping where you're supposed to. So they'll be like, I need help. That means use your portal. Coordinator will use it. They keep running. They go for the rescue. You follow the coordinator. You go through the blue portal. And now it's up for you to go and do the rest of the healing. Now, what about the opposite? What if you're the person that is next to the person going down? It's actually easier. You just put your blue portal down wherever you want to. You have somebody else activate it, and then you run to the chair, right? It needs to be in a spot. Remember, you need to make sure that your teammate can get there in 20 seconds. It doesn't matter if your teammate gets hit. The person across the other portal is going to be able to heal them. You got to make sure that it's in an unpredictable spot so the hunter isn't using teleport to predict where your blue portal is. That's how you're supposed to use your blue portal. The mistake that a lot of priestesses are doing right now is they're using their blue portal in the beginning of the match. It's absolutely irrelevant. You do not your blue portal, think of it as the only reason why you have a priestess right now is because you need to make sure that you can secure that first rescue. Don't use it right away. Do not use it. Use it when somebody's going in for the rescue. They put it down far away enough where you can still run back to it. The other person can run, you can keep, and they can get through the blue portal. This is how it's played in top tier matches. Now, I already know what's gonna happen. If there is a top tier priestess player in the US server telling you otherwise, they're wrong. They're wrong about it. That's not how it was played in Call of Abyss against some of the best players in the world. It's not how it was played. That's how it's played in Call of Abyss, and that is actually how they were able to win with priestess players in the game. That is how you are supposed to play. You are supposed to wait. You are supposed to use it when the coordinator goes in or the mercenary goes in. They put it down. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to do a real life stimulation, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all ready for this? All right. So homie goes down, right? I'm the coordinator, right? I'm going to say I need help. Priestess starts doing, hold on. Priestess starts doing her portal. I run over here. Perswayable's running. Slap it down. I start running towards the rocket chair. Perswayable is running towards the rocket chair because the portal's over there. I don't need to hold on to that portal. The priestess does. Here's the rocket chair. We going. Here we go. Naked freeze tag, homie. Boom. Tagged you. You're from the rocket chair. Now I'm going to stick my booty out, right, like this, right? Make sure you arch your back. Nobody wants a slumper, right? You arch your back, right? You run like this with your booty, okay? Hunter's going to hit you. It don't matter, Hunter. It don't matter, boo-boo. You can hit me as many times as you want. I'm kind of into that thing. And then here we go. Guess what? We came back to the portal. Homegirl goes through the portal, and you're sitting there and you dancing. You're like, ha ha, Hunter, you look dumb right now. That is how you're supposed to do it. Yeah, it's lag. There's probably lag. My bad. There's probably some lag. My bad. I got a little excited right there. Okay. Is the lag good? So, man, I'm 28 years old and I'm a licensed healthcare professional. What am I doing with my life? I'm over here sitting next to it. I'm next to a pet waste station. There's dog poop right here. There's like right there. There's dog poop. I'm sitting next to dog poop, but whatever. All right. That is how you're supposed to use priestess. That is the best way to use her. You don't. If you use your super portal too early, if somebody goes down, your super portal isn't going to be ready. You cannot use that prematurely. That premature anything is bad. Whether it's you with somebody in bed, whether it's you as a coordinator using your flare gun too early, whether it's you as a priestess using your portal too early. I know you're excited. I know you hot and frisky, but you gotta find ways to last longer, boo-boo. And this is me telling you how you supposed to last longer. Consider me your Viagra. I am your Viagra. That made no sense. All right, but regardless. So we saw this in the Call of Abyss tournament. We saw this in the Call of Abyss tournament in 3 separate instances. I already have it downloaded. I have it chopped up. It's in a video. I've just been way too lazy to finish the video, okay? My bad, I know. I go far. I go too far sometimes. At least I keep it real with y'all, you know? At least I keep it real. So that's how you're supposed to use pre. Well, you know, we're gonna do another run, right? It's gonna be a little laggy, but I'm not gonna do it. But all right, so here's what we do, right? So we put the portal right here, right? So all right, so homie goes down. Homie's dead over there, right? She dead in the grass. Oh no! All right, so what we're going to do is the coordinator is running and she's going to tap the portal here and she's gonna keep running over here, okay? Now, meanwhile, Priestess is all the way over there still holding the super portal. She's holding the super portal. You as coordinator, you just gotta tap the super portal. You don't gotta hold it like this. You don't gotta hold it like this. You just tap. You know what I mean? You just gotta tap, 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 tap-a-roo, right? You tap that portal, you go help out your homie, right? We get them, we rescue them, right? Now, me and homegirl, we going right here. Because at the end of the day, I have Tide Turner. Even if homegirl gets hit, homegirl going through there, homegirl escapes. Now the clown look dumb, right? I'm saying it's a clown, all right? Now, she goes through there. Even if she dies from Tide Turner, Priestess is over there and they're making out. They're having a good time, you know what I mean? Like, they got the beads and everything. I'm not gonna go further into that analogy. So, that is how you're supposed to play Priestess. Don't use it prematurely. Don't use your portal too fast. Don't try to... Now, if you're the main kiter, you're allowed to use your portal. You are allowed to use your portal, but not your super portal. Okay, because you didn't use your super portal, you now still have a portal. So if the hunter goes after you, you can use a basic portal to get into a better kiting position. Do not use your global portal right away, all right? Don't do it. It is not a good idea. It's like raw dog and a stripper. At the point, I shouldn't have said that joke. That's an inappropriate joke. But I feel like this is an important health lesson, right? Don't raw dog people. Stay protected, right? So make sure that you take your time and don't go prematurely. All right, I'm not gonna make any more sex jokes. I'm limited to 3. Okay, so the neighbors are calling the hospital. Yeah, I got some pretty dope neighbors, actually. My neighbors are pretty cool. Any questions? Any questions on how to use Priestess? Does anybody want to refute this? Somebody's calling the hospital. Yeah, hello. We got a guy out here talking about this imaginary priestess and making out with a different character, and we don't really know what's going on with this guy. We just know that he's talking about this priestess and portals to another dimension. Can somebody please get somebody out here to help him right away? Doesn't matter, you can call the cops because I got a priestess who's gonna use her super portal and I can just portal away. All right. I have a lot of coffee in me. Why is it bad not to use super portal when someone is injured? It's not really good to use your super portal when somebody is injured because first of all, you don't know if the super portal is going to work. Second of all, the entire point of using the super portal is to get somebody off of that rocket chair and let them escape. Think about that. If you're down to 4 ciphers or 3 ciphers, somebody's on the rocket chair, they rescue, and then you use the portal, use the portal, they rescue and both leave the portal. Do you know how much of a disaster that is for the hunter? The hunter is already down 2 ciphers. Then on top of that, the only way a hunter is ever going to win is by securing that first kill so he can at least tie the game at the end of the match. But you just allowed that person to actually get away and escape. Now that hunter is stuck with the coordinator, right? Stuck with the coordinator, and if he camps her, now it's an extra 35% perseverance on the rocket chair. Now again, I know what you guys are probably saying. Well, where's the proof? The proof, I promise you, it's in Call of Abyss. We saw a lot of this in the Hong Kong and Taiwan and the MO server, and this is how primarily Priestess was played. Priestess only had about a 5-point something selection rate. She wasn't picked that much, but she was used in high tiers, and that was the method that allowed. I'm pretty sure they won. I'm pretty sure they won some of those matches. We have all the data. I have all the data on the win rate, the tie rates, all that stuff that's going to be coming out. Okay? So, again, save your super portal. Because at the end of the day, if I'm injured and you use your super portal, that Ripper could teleport to somebody else and now they're dead and now your super portal is going to do nothing. So I honestly believe that the super portal's best effectiveness, as displayed within the tournament top competitive gameplay, is it's primarily used as an escape route for the first individual that eventually gets put on the rocket chair. The only exception to this is if you're the individual that's kiting the hunter first and you have to use your regular portal to now get away, they teleport and now you're still waiting for a recovery of your normal portal, right? Now a lot of people were talking about the priestess and her nerf, right? So I did do the data myself. I ran it myself. It takes 8 minutes and 54 seconds from the first portal to the last portal to use 10 portals in the game. Now the majority of matches in top competitive gameplay do not go above 8 minutes and 54 seconds. It very, very rarely does. However, and we did some discussions on this on YouTube, there is a bigger probability of the matches lasting longer in matches such as mid-tier. So that's going to be interesting. I think that the devs need to be careful with this nerf. I think that there's a solid argument that you'll see her gameplay significantly be, I want to say, kind of warded down a little bit, a little tiny bit. But to a degree, I think that the nerf is still going to be good. I know you guys disagree with that. That's totally cool. But my problem is that it's not going to be good. That's not a good way of saying it. But it's going to make priestesses a little bit more conservative with their portals. But ultimately, it's a bad thing for mid-tiers. High tiers, you're not going to see a difference because most matches do not go above 8 minutes and 54 seconds. The only hunters that usually go above 8 minutes and 54 seconds will be the photographer, and photographer's really not played that much. In the top Call of Abyss tournaments, we saw Ripper and Spider, and then we saw Clown, and then I think, who did we see after that? I don't know, I gotta look at the data again. So, yeah, I want to try to answer some of your questions because I've been ranting a lot. Let's go over here. I can't see because of sunlight. Ooh, it is warm here. I love it. All right, so what questions do we have? Oh wow, those are some long. That's a lot of questions. Please say hi to me, Perswayable. Hi. How we doing? Is Doctor good for high tiers? We did see doctors being selected in top tournament gameplay. I don't really know what the win rate was using Doctor, which I was very surprised that we saw Doctor really being played at all. But we did see Doctor being played on multiple servers. So we saw Doctor in high tier in Hong Kong. We saw it in the US. I can't remember if we saw it in Southeast Asia or Taiwan. So, but the thing is that I don't know what the win rate is, right? Just because you have a whole bunch of top tiers trying to experiment with different builds doesn't necessarily mean it's good. I think that some players hold too much emphasis on what high tier players do to a degree. And what I mean by that is that I think it's good to see what all of the high tiers are doing and running the stats on it. But just because a high tier is doing something doesn't mean it's good. And you often have that problem where you'll have people who are like, oh, well, I saw a high tier do this, so it must be good. And like, the thing is that I was a high tier for the first 3 seasons. And when I tell you it's not good and here's the research and the data to back it up, it's no longer my opinion, right? It's now the data suggests this is a bad thing. That's the difference between using data versus just kind of coming up with random analogies. However, seeing what the top priestesses, for instance, are doing and why they're at least tying or winning against some of the best hunters in the world, that is when it's anecdotal, and the anecdotal suggests that as of now it works. So somebody could be a priestess player and say, you know, I don't do that. That's fine. But here's the thing. Once I get my computer and I can start doing some tournaments, hopefully with the Wi-Fi, then we can start seeing you, you know, put your money where your mouth is and show me other strategies. All right. Let me see. If Priestess has a fake image when you all or 2 go through a portal, the Priestess usually heals you when down after it, but a Priestess will be down too. That's not that good. Oops. So Priestess only leaves a white mark if she's going through somebody else's portal. She doesn't leave a white mark going through her own portal. So the idea is that if they nerf Priestess, she only gets a white mark if she's going through somebody else's portal, to my understanding. If you're a priestess, is there any way to be a priestess and use the blue portal? without going through it. Oh, I don't think so. I think you automatically go through it, which is annoying. Persway, Dager has a question. You need to start scrolling up more. Yeah, I'm on my phone. I'm on my phone and it's sideways. I can only see 2 comments at a time. Would you suggest playing forward like a red? No, I would not suggest playing forward for 1 versus 4. He's awful now. Forward's not good in 1 versus 4. He's probably, honestly, in my opinion, I think forward is probably a C tier character now. But that's based on my own opinion. It's not based off of the data. I gotta look back at the forward's data. Forward is awful now. He's not good. The games are a lot longer than what they used to be. So his football doesn't last as long. Even if you're a good forward, his football doesn't last long enough. It's a problem with his build. It's a problem that the devs need to fix. They need to allow the football player forward to last a little bit longer. How do you play against the Hell Embers? It's hard to kite against a Hunter's clone and 2 puppets. The trick to Hell Ember is kiting him in the beginning. Call of Duty knows that. Call Me Duty knows that. If you come after me, I'm going to at least kite you 2 ciphers against the Hell Ember every time. Yeah, you might get all your puppets and stuff, but I will kite you until that 2 ciphers are down. How did you get your name? That's a good question. I'm going to do a video on that one day. You can avoid going through Persway. Please scream at all the chords that go left and right. Well, here's what's weird, right? So I was reviewing all of the gameplay footage, man. I was reviewing all of the gameplay footage. And what I have noticed on the Hong Kong server and the Taiwan server is that for some reason, they got some weird builds over there. They're building left again. I almost feel like they're building left and down. It's like really weird. Like some of them are building left and down. I can't explain it, but I know for a fact that watching their server play, a lot of them are getting that boost after climbing a window, and they're able to kite the hunters longer. It's a very interesting strategy, because the idea is that if you're a good kiter, then not everybody's gonna go down anyway. So they probably only have 2 players using 2 players. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing, and I probably won't know until Call of Abyss. But pay attention to that in Call of Abyss. I know the Tide Turner thing is the popular thing. I have been seeing that Lucky Guy is being used more as a replacement for Coordinator. What do you think? I think it's a bad idea. I mean, Coordinator at the end of the day has an increased stun with her flare gun. There's also the probability that you're not going to get a flare gun as a Lucky Guy. I think Lucky Guy has an interesting place on a team, but not necessarily as a replacement for the Rescuer. One of the biggest satisfactions of being a Coordinator user is that if you do die, you have that 35% perseverance on the rocket chair. So if the Hunter camps you, he's going to have to camp you for like 90 seconds or something ridiculous. That's devastating for a Hunter. So as a Coordinator, you really devastate the Hunter in the beginning of the match. You try to kite her, she's a good kiter. I'm sorry, if you try to go after her, she'll kite you, and even if you kill her, if you camp, you're just going to be wasting a lot of time. However, since the decode debuff in the beginning of the game, that means that she's not as strong as what she used to be, because the games are lasting longer, so Hunters are now allowed to at least camp her for at least some sort of portion. Cord is so good. Why is Mad Eyes not used that much? Mad Eyes isn't used that much because, well, Mad Eyes is different on the computer. So when you play tournament-wise, you're not going to see too much of Mad Eyes. There are some players who are good with them, but just because you're good with a Mad Eyes going against a watered-down server doesn't necessarily mean that it's better than the other options out there. He's not better than Ripper. He's not better than Spider. He's probably not better than Clown. So that's the problem. All right, let's see. Persway, with the Priestess nerf coming, do you think they should make her Decode and Bolton better? Me personally, I'm not concerned about it, but I think if they don't want to piss the player base off, if you are going to nerf the Priestess, since she's not S-tier character, you should probably find a way to balance it out. Precedent shows that that's exactly what they did with Mechanic, and she was an S-tier character. So I think it's only fair that if you're going to nerf her, you should, even if the nerf isn't that significant for players who are in high tier, it's still significant for those who are in mid tier. So buff her. on an insignificant level. Decrease her Volten by 5%, the debuff, or decrease her decoding by 5%. I would say her Volt instead of her decoded. I'd say her Volt. Perswayable, still waiting to 1 versus 1, but was wondering who's the best survivor hunter now. Let's see, the best survivor or hunter now. So the problem is that you guys know that I think my teammate, Yo Mama, became one of the most consistent survivors in the game. When me and Yo Mama played together, our win rate was ridiculous. And even facing some of the top 3 hunters now, Yo Mama and I never lost to. We barely ever lost to. That was even Season 3 after Ripper and Spider got our buff. With Yo Mama leaving, I don't know. I would say Yo Mama was the best survivor in this game. When Lan was playing on her computer, I remember a time when Lan said that she would rather go after a coordinator than go after Yo Mama. So Yo Mama was a very good magician player. If he were to stick around and play, he's hands down one of the best survivors. If I were to go into a tournament, if I could, I would have Yo Mama on my team. He's one of the original OGs, same with Schmitty. Right? Schmitty will be in Shanghai, China. We saw Schmitty pull off an excellent move in the tournament. But I would say Yo Mama. With Yo Mama gone, I don't know who the best survivor is. In terms of the best hunter, it depends on who I'm playing and what character they're playing. The best hunter. It also depends on if they're on mobile or if they're on PC. The best hunter. Like what I'll tell you, for instance, like one of the best clown users in my opinion is Sprinter. He kicked my ass the other day playing Dancer. If I ever wanted to beat Sprinter, I wouldn't even be able to play Dancer. I'd have to play like Perfumer or Seer. He's a phenomenal clown user. Alien was a good Ripper user. He's using Wu Chang now. Wu Chang works right now because a lot of the survivors are getting their asses kicked in high tier. So Wu Chang, I don't remember what Wu Chang's win rate was in the tournament. So there's a difference between how Wu Chang is against top players from all around the world versus top survivors on US. And I think you guys know that I think that a lot of the survivors are watered down in this server. That's just my personal opinion, but at the same time, I think I'm being too harsh on them because their hunters are a lot better, right? Ripper is a lot better, Spider is a lot better, so I think it's too difficult to be hard on the survivors on our server. What I will say is that the survivors in the other servers did significantly better than the survivors on our server in the Call of Abyss tournament. I mean, that's super. I mean, if you guys have watched any of the Hong Kong footage, the Taiwan footage, I mean, they were pretty much tying and winning the majority of their matches as survivors. A few times the hunters won. Whereas the survivors on our server just absolutely got their butts kicked. So it either means that our hunters are better than the hunters over there, which I'm not sure if that's true. I don't know. There's no way to measure it, right? Or it means that our survivors aren't doing as well with their coordination. Because over in their servers, I didn't really see survivors dying in 20 seconds that much. Whereas in our server, it happened a few times. It happened like 3 or 4 times. That's why the Chinese players were making fun of the US and the European players. I'm not saying I agree with the Chinese server, right? I think that we have phenomenal players. I think that a lot of players didn't take the game seriously until Season 3. I think there's been a lot of buffs that they're trying to catch up to. And furthermore, a lot of our players play on mobile, whereas a lot of the top Chinese players are playing on PC. I'm really excited for the US team. I really hope that they do the best that they can. I'm a little bummed out that the people who won the US tournament isn't going to be over there representing our server. So, because at the end of the day, Boosted Clan did win, and you know, Boosted Clan's not going to be representing our server. It would be interesting to see if all of the top players actually made a clan on this server. What's very unique about US is that all of the teams don't have like necessarily top players. Like Boosted Clan had a lot of survivors who are nowhere near top 30 or top 20 all the time, nowhere near. I mean, some of them were dying super fast. The Blue Race Car did an amazing job as a hunter. I really wanted to see him in China. I wanted to see how he could go against some of those other players. So to answer your question, probably, I mean, to this day, I've played a lot of hunters one-on-one on mobile devices. I'd say that playing Blue Race Car was overwhelming to play against. You know, there were times where I could kite the dude for 90 seconds, and then there were times the dude was killing me in 30 seconds. And that was me playing seriously too. So he's a phenomenal hunter. I think iAlien he's gotten a lot better as a hunter. I think season 3 he was still easy to beat. I told him that too. But he's become a monster as a player. I'm proud of him. He's put a lot of energy, a lot of work into being a hunter. I think Dead was always one of the best clown users. Lan was one of the best geisha users when she uses the computer. Meme Senpai has been doing a lot of work on the Feaster, but I hear that Roxanne has like a 97% win rate as Feaster. I would love to go against Roxanne as a Feaster user to see what he's doing. He's probably using the Patroller, which was a Season 2 tactic. In terms of Wu Chang, I know iAlien is using him. Drink Bleach was a pretty good Wu Chang user. Dream Witch, I don't know yet. I don't know who would be the best Dream Witch user. My phone's about to die, by the way, so I'm probably going to end this soon. In terms of survivors, the only one that comes to mind really is Yo Mama. Dude, he was such a phenomenal. He was when it was me, Yo Mama, we had such a great team, man. We had such a great team. I really wish that we could compete sometime. But I wouldn't know who else. Everybody always says if Yo Mama and I were to make a clan or something, who would we play? Yo Mama and I have no idea. I think I would have to talk to Yo Mama, but he, I know I would want me and him, and then from there, I have no idea. There's a lot of good survivors. It's not that they're not good. It's just there's a lot of them. But I don't know who's better than who. So, like, if you're going to China to represent the server, you want some of the best, right? So, you know, you just want people who are consistent. Do you think the Believers will be again? Nah, man, that was fun. Being the Believers were fun. Persuade, name for 4 survivors that's good together. Oh, that's just the typical meta. All right, guys, so we're going to end this live feed. Man, I'm really excited to see what the U.S. can do. And I really hope that you guys all support the U.S. team and the European team. I hope you guys support them. Remember, they're going out there and they're going to be, you know, every move that they do is going to be scrutinized. Everything that they do is going to be ridiculed. Remember that it's very convenient for us to kind of watch a match from afar and be like, oh, I would have done this. It's not the same. It's not the same when you're actually in a match. And it's going to be nerve-wracking. They're going to be in a whole different country. There's going to be jet lag. They're going to be 12 hours behind. They're going to be tired. They're going to be there all day. So when we do see the U.S. and the European server, make sure that we represent them good. Make sure that we give them an overwhelming amount of support. Because at the end of the day, man, we can all troll each other. We can all kind of talk nasty to each other at times and stuff. But, you know, when it comes to a tournament like that, it's very important to show solidarity, to take the trolling and the joking and put it aside and just root for the team that's representing you and your country, representing you and your server. So we're going to do a good job, hopefully. Win or lose, I'm proud of them that they're actually going to China. I'm very proud of you guys. I'm going to be rooting for you the entire way. And we're going to do our best to stay positive. Again, let's not scrutinize them. They're going to be under a lot of pressure. They're going to be jet lagged. They're going to be tired. And we'll see the best that they can do. I'm very proud of them. And yeah, we got a lot of things going. Guys, make sure you guys check me out on Instagram. That's where I do a lot of my personal videos. My Patreon is going to be coming out. That's going to help me kind of fund everything that I've been doing because I do lose money on YouTube. And we'll keep doing our thing, though. We'll keep doing our thing. We'll keep promoting. Eventually, I'll be getting into more anime and more video game analysis. That's been always a plan, but I need a video editor, so I don't got to worry about making the videos. We got a lot of things planned, and I'm happy that you guys are pretty much another family of mine. So I'll talk to you.